Welcome to Make a Path Presents. My name is Ronnie Hayes. Today let's talk, are the wolves all dead? But before we get into this topic, huge spoiler warning. Leave now if you have not seen The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 3. I've actually been getting a lot of messages pretty much not even asking if I think the wolves are dead, but basically saying, since they're gone. It seems like a lot of people are just writing them off as completely dead now, because we did see the wolf that Morgan let go, the one that took the gun, and we were like, oh, what's going to happen with that gun? Is so-and-so going to get shot with it, as in an important character? And we do know now what the importance of that gun was. And I thought it was really good because I hate the cliche in horror movies where a car doesn't start. Well, it appears that the gunshot when the wolf tried to kill Rick is the reason that the van isn't starting, or the RV won't start, and that's why Rick is trapped there and all the walkers are coming. Now, I did love that. Now, a lot of people saying the wolves are dead and gone. I personally don't believe that's the case. I think there's actually more wolves that are left. That's just the wolves, the ones that Rick killed. Those are the ones that we saw that left when Morgan was standing there. But I believe that there are others. And I think there's one big thing that can relate to the comic book that a lot of fans are overlooking. The wolves being trapped. Now, we do know, and especially after seeing Glenn and Michonne and them running away from where they were, that it seems like the walkers are spreading out now and coming in and out of every direction. So obviously, wherever the wolves are, if they did break off in groups, they are now trapped somewhere in between that herd that's moving forward, which even if the wolves decide to retreat, they're going to hit that herd and have to go back and fight no matter what, because a lot of people are like, well, what are the wolves going to do? They wouldn't just attack. The other people have guns. And this is where the comic book comes in. If the wolves in the TV show are trapped between the herd, which is, death. There's so many walkers there, that is just certain death. They're trapped between the herd and Alexandria, which there might be a possible outcome of survival since they don't know the armory. They don't know they have all those guns. And this is what I say. Relates to the comic book, because in the comic, they didn't know they had all those guns and the ammo. They just guessed they didn't have the guns and the ammo, because even the one chick says, I bet you don't even have enough ammunition to kill us all. But in the comic, what's very interesting is the scavengers, which are the wolves in the comic, they're trapped. And Glenn and Heath actually see them toss out one of their guys. And while the walkers are distracted eating one of the scavengers' men, the other remaining scavengers flee. Later, they'll hear Glenn and Heath riding a motorcycle, and that's how they follow them to Alexandria. And they even say, Rick says, listen, we will let you guys go. Just get out of here. Don't ever come back. And the wolf says, we'll take our chances fighting you, because leaving, that's just death. I think that's how it's going to come together, pretty similar. No, I do not believe the wolves are gone. You know what? I want to throw this in here. What's interesting is in the comic, when the scavengers threw out their one guy as bait and distraction, it looks very, very similar to the Glenn and Nicholas death scene from episode 3. Even two shots. One, the guts being torn out. Now keep in mind, this is a herd in a part of town that looks identical to it. It has that vibe, that same feel as Glenn and Nick in the alleyway. And also when the camera pans up, the shot looking down, I should say, that looks a lot like this shot here in the comic. I just wanted to throw that out there. And I'm almost positive this is the part in the comic book where Glenn was supposed to die, which I'm going to talk about in my next Glenn video, because it's funny how in a TV show it looks like he dies around the point in time where he was actually supposed to die in the comic, but Robert Kirkman was like, nah, we're going to change that, and he kept him for a good reason too. That was a good idea. Anyhow, this is my thoughts and opinions on the wolves. I still believe there are wolves out there. I believe they're going to get trapped between the herd and Alexandria and have no other choice but to attack. And there's also that wolf that Morgan has captive, which I do believe that's going to be important to kick off Morgan's flashback episode. We're going to talk about that in a prediction, but I believe Morgan talking about his way and what brought him around, maybe not even to try to, change the wolf, but to just try to have conversation with him. It just comes out. One of those type of deals. Anyway, thoughts, opinions, and predictions in that comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn.
Subscribe now.